pretty impressive though. It's a huge amount of people.
Do you think that what Berkeley is doing right now is good? Do you think this protest that's happening is going to change anything, change minds? Do you think we should be doing it anyways, though?
It's like a movement.
How are y'all feeling? Numb. How are we feeling?
You can be upset as you want at this point, but
It's
until
happening.
like he does something wrong, this is the situation. Is that you can't just like sit here and be angry for things he said.
I still think he did it as a joke. Like,
Yeah, I still do too.
Yeah.
I think he's like, ha, I could do it.
The very first thing he said as president-elect was directly in contradiction to everything he's said.
Yeah.
for the last 6 months.
Absolutely.
the worst part to me is that he is just a flagrant bigot
Yeah.
and sexist and sexual predator. Yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know, first of all, that you guys are all very important people to me, to a lot of people. What this election said is not a reflection of what I think the majority of people think about you, about your families, about the groups of people that you're from. I think it's very important to say that right now. It's tough. I went into my econ class today and my professor was like, no, we're just gonna talk. And I thought that was important, and I wanted to reflect that in my own teaching today. Were y'all surprised, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I think it's kind of hard to believe that there aren't people who support him for just legitimate political reasons who aren't bigots. Because, I mean, when you get that much of the popular vote, even if it's not over half, that's a huge portion of the country. And you have to assume that even a majority of that group sees something in him and is willing to give one thing up in exchange for another.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is personally, but millions of people do. And I think
Yeah.
that's really interesting that that he got so much support, but so many people still don't understand why.
Yeah. Today, I got a little bit more resolved to go back to Kentucky whenever I graduate. I feel like I've been stuck in a liberal bubble for a long time, or whatever you want to call it. And this is a big problem in the Democratic Party, too. You have this kind of liberal smugness. You have everybody kind of grouping together and being like, oh, I don't understand how people could think this way. And it just reminded me of oh, I'm actually from that area. I mean, and it's sickening to me because a lot of the friends that I went to college with, even though I went into the most liberal city in Kentucky, are big Trump fans. And they're celebrating not the smaller government part of it, they're celebrating the actual bigotry of the campaign. It's pretty cool. I've never lived in a blue state, so this was really cool to cast my ballot here. I got to do it in person for the first time in 2 years, which was awesome. I mean, I'm not saying you guys have to, but I'm going out and trying to get Kentucky blue eventually.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with these protests or anything because, I mean, for the past year, they've been protesting against Trump, and yet he still won. So is it?
You're preaching to the choir here, basically.
Yeah.
It just sucks though, because California's so huge and we're so far away from real America where we can actually make change based on our beliefs, I guess, the majority's beliefs.
I agree with all the protests because they're getting a lot of coverage, you got the helicopters, and I feel like it's our duty for America to show the rest of the world there's still a part of America that's not cool with this, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think the protests are really gonna matter. I grew up in Orange County and it's completely Republican and conservative, and they don't give a shit
Yeah.
if these protests are happening. They're still gonna have these views, and it's not really gonna change them at all.
I can tell y'all, for one, it's not fun representing America to people outside of America.
Yep.
Right now, for me.
We laughed at them for Brexit.
Yeah, and then, we did this. There are some real fears that are coming up, but you guys are the leaders in your industries and the things that you're interested in. Push that forward. I mean, keep learning. Go to these classes about race and ethnicity. Like, this is important. I know that our parents say, like, oh, you need to understand economics. I know that they say you need to understand all the math things. Those are really important, yes. And they're a way to explain these issues. So I want you guys to, like, keep that in mind as you move forward through your education. It's something that is really important to have a mix of both of those to understand your country and the way it's made up. Yeah. I think those are my closing remarks.
In my aliens decal, we talked about aliens in the media, and we talked about E.T. So apparently, Isabel and Thomas had a argument over something, and they wanted us to vote on it. So their argument was whether or not E.T. is a boy or a plant. So first we discussed it, and I raised my hand several times because I just think that's stupid. So then we had to have a vote. So Jordan held the vote. He didn't really know much about this, I guess. The first thing that was called was for boy, and I voted for boy. I didn't like boy. I don't think boy makes sense. I think it should be you don't know what he is. But I don't like plant at all because he's got eyeballs and crap. So I voted boy to vote against plant.
Yeah.
And then Jordan's like, okay, what about girl? And everyone's like, no, you can't vote for girl. It's like, yeah, don't throw your vote away. Girl, you can't vote for the third party. So no girl. No one voted for girl. The last vote was for plant, and plant won. And Isabel was like, well, I guess I have to say I lost, and sometimes the wrong side wins. I think one of the reasons why, because like one of the main reasons why we spent so much time laughing at Trump was because we were so afraid of this. And it seemed so impossible, but just the fact that it was possible, it just seemed, if we laughed at it enough, it would become impossible. Yeah, go away.
Well,
and that's why it's difficult to laugh now.
One thing a lot of comedians say is that comedy works.
That's it.
Mostly, yeah. One thing comedians say is
Can you put that on the board?
Comedy works.
One thing a lot of comedians say is that comedy works.
What they actually say is that comedy works kind of because it functions as sort of a defense mechanism in a way.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
It helps you deal with things that you don't understand or you think are worthy of ridicule. Like, for example, a lot of comedians made fun of Bill Cosby, and a lot of other people thought that was inappropriate. But the comedians said it was appropriate because...
They all said this at once.
Yes, they all said this at once. They're like Nightingale people. Bill Cosby was a member of their community that they wanted to repudiate. And in order to repudiate them as comedians, their best method was comedy, because that's what they're good at. And so they make jokes about it, not to bring up Bill Cosby or to talk more about what he did, but to say, here's a person who is deserving of this hatred that we will deliver to him.
Hatred is the right word, but
I think it is. It's hatred in the form of caustic humor.
But hatred is bad.
Yes. I'm not using hatred in the form of like a hate crime hatred. I'm using hatred in the form of revilement.
What about is there another word?
Let's go with revilement.
Okay, fine, revilement. We liberals must redefine our word for hate so we don't get associated.
I think it's better to realize that we are associated with it and just deal with that. Deal with it and stop doing things that are associated with hate.
Yeah.
Not to just stop doing things.
Hate's bad. The Chronovlogue does not endorse hate of any form, liberal or conservative. We want everyone to just give each other a really big hug.
What about fictional hate?
Oh, that's fine. No, get all your hate out in fiction. Remember Iris from season 1? God. Yeah, see, that's what that's for. Well, that's why we have these shows.
Okay, honestly, was she really deserving of hate? I don't think so.
You hated her, I thought.
No, I didn't.
You didn't like her.
Yeah, I thought her character was...
Okay, what character do you hate? Well, let me give it a better one.
There's a character in Bleach I hate whose name I will refuse to say.
I'm gonna guess it's...
You can't guess the name. If anyone says that name, it's your duty to... Are you zooming in on me or something?
Yeah,
it's your duty to edit it out. Now you probably zoomed in on me if you didn't earlier. Or something.
Edith.
I can see your thumbs.
It's Edith.
It's not Edith.
You have to bleep out what I said so the viewers think that it was the correct thing.
It's not.
I wanted something
The best name he could come up with was Edith.
Just bleep out everything he says in that scene. No, just replace it. I'll act as him.
Just bleep.
Oh my God! How did you know that it was my own? What did you think? How do you know that was her name? You are the best Bleach person who's never read Bleach. I love you. And just
play that over him. Your vlogs are either going to become incredibly bizarre, or feature a lot of me telling you what to do and you not doing it. I feel like I had a point like 15 minutes ago.
You always had a point 15 minutes ago. Hi, Jake. It's Ferb Day.